So today I'm going to give you a full tour of almost all of my houseplants. Hello, my name's Jemma and I'm a houseplant enthusiast from the UK. I'm going to start over here, and this one is the Singoli white butterfly. And it's maybe looking a little less light than it usually would because I've been keeping it in a slightly darker spot than this. But this one has grown quite a lot since I got it, and it is actually still growing new leaves now. And it's the middle of winter, so that's quite nice. This one is really easy to propagate as well. You can see how it grows in vines, and they do get quite heavy and it starts to trail eventually. So I did make a few cuttings of this and I gave those away. But I really love Singoliums. I just love the shape of the leaves, and I definitely like to collect the other varieties for sure. Then down here we have a philodendron. I'm not entirely sure what kind of philodendron it is. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you do know. But I just love how big the leaves are. It did grow quite a few leaves during this last growing season, and it's just sort of stopped. You can see where a new one was coming there, but it's just gotten quiet now for the winter, so just a case of taking care of it. But it's looking really nice. It's one of my favourite plants. I do like big plants. And then onto this one. This is the Ficus Benjamina, and I got this as a gift I think a couple of years ago now. And yeah, it's been quite easy to take care of. It grows quite fast during the growing season, and this summer just gone I did take quite a few cuttings from this one because I wanted to encourage it to branch out a bit, which it has. Yeah. And there's a little cutting in the soil there as well that I popped in to just try and fill it out a bit, and I'll probably do that again this summer as well, just to add some more fullness to it. And then over here we have the Ficus Robusta, and I just love how thick the leaves are on this one. And it did actually spontaneously branch as well, so it has another branch coming off there, which was kind of unexpected but a nice surprise, so I was happy about that. I haven't propagated this one yet because it's still fairly new. I've only really had it for less than a year, but I will definitely be propagating it maybe this year coming or the year after. Make lots more of these. And then over here we're coming over to the Calathea, which is also known as the peacock plant. This one was a gift from my husband, and I was delighted and terrified when he brought it home because it's so beautiful, yet I was worried I might kill it. So far though, I think I've had it much longer than 6 months, yeah. Not quite a year, but quite a while, and it's doing really well. It has stopped growing now for the winter, but during summer it was putting out leaf after leaf, and it's looking fairly healthy. I'm very careful with the watering of this one. I always use filtered water. And I use filtered water really for most of my plants, but this one especially because I know how sensitive it is. But yeah, it's so beautiful. I would be really upset if I killed it. And then let's start at the top of my plant shelf. Over here we have a Philodendron Brazil, and this one is brand new. It's one of the most recent plants that I bought from the garden centre. It's actually been on my wish list for a while, so when I saw this one I thought I've got to get it. It's got some new leaves coming in there. They kind of look like little arms, don't they? They also had a really big one of these in the shop on a moss pole, but I usually buy small and let them grow big. But being fairly new to plant collecting, I don't really have that many huge plants yet, but check back in a few years and hopefully. But I just love the variegation on these, that bright green that goes through them. I just love it, and it varies on each one as well. You don't know what you're going to get. It's just beautiful. And the way these new leaves come in, sort of orange colour really as well, is really nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this one grow, see what it does for me. And then over here we have the Anthurium clarinervium, and I got this in spring, summer 2023, so I haven't had it that long, but it was on my wish list and my husband very kindly treated me to it because it was quite expensive at the time. I think the prices might be coming down a bit now, but it's doing fairly well. It is slightly annoying that this one leaf has grown so leggy. It's far away from the other leaves, but never mind, that's nature for you. I did lose a leaf this winter, one leaf so far, so I'm really hoping that that's the only one I lose. There is, if you can just see there, a tiny little new leaf popping up, and that kind of came up just at the end of autumn, and it didn't really get, not the end of autumn, the end of summer, it didn't really get a chance to come out, so hopefully that will come out when spring comes around again. But yeah, it's one of my favourite plants. I just wish that other leaf would, maybe I should tie it or something, I don't know, I might do. And then coming down here we have the Moranta, and this is actually two plants. This part over here, I think this is the part, was a cutting that someone gave me, and at the garden centre they had a really good deal in the sale section. I think this one was about £5, so I thought I will buy it and pot them up together, which I have done. And yeah, this one is still growing actually, lots of new leaves coming through. So that's nice. But I just love the leaves on this one, the markings on them, it's so beautiful. I will definitely be propagating this one, probably adding a few more to the pot as well, just to make it even more full. I do like to do that, I like to make the plants more full. And over here we have the Pothos Marble Queen, and this one is a propagation that I took from the mother plant, and as you can see it has grown quite a bit. It's climbing up there, and this one I usually propagate a lot because if you've got one you will know how quickly it grows. So I do propagate lots of plants, and I give some away, keep a few, give most of them away, but I do keep a few because, to be honest, I really do love this plant. See that speckled one there, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I love these plants so much that I could just have loads of them and I will never get bored. So yeah, this one's quite green actually. You know, some of them get more white bits on, others don't. That's okay, I don't mind. And then moving down here, we have some babies on this tray. Over here we have the whale fin, and my husband actually chose this one because at the time that we bought it, it only had the one leaf, this one here, and he kind of felt sorry for it. But since then it's grown another leaf here, and it looks like there's another one about to come through at some point. So yeah, it's quite tiny at the moment. This is like the plant crash here. And here we have Monstera Adenia, another present from my husband. He brought this home for me one day and I was delighted. Still a little baby at the moment, as you can see, but I'm thinking come spring this one is going to grow loads, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then over here, this is actually a Rafadeora Decursiva seedling, and this is the only plant that I have that I've grown from seed, so I'm quite proud of it. It's still very small, as you can see. But yeah, I'm hoping it makes it through the winter. I planted it probably very early spring 2023. Yeah, so it's not done a great deal yet, but hopefully I'll start to see it do a bit more this spring, summer coming. And then let's move down. Here we have the underrated and mighty snake plant. I love snake plants. This one is getting quite full. Might need a repot next year. But yeah, I could just have loads of snake plants and I would never get bored. I just think they're really lovely and easy to take care of, which is great for anyone who needs an easy care plant. Just love them. I'll never get bored of them. I'd like to have a whole forest of snake plants. And then back there we have, I'm not actually sure what this is, maybe a Hawaria? Let me know in the comments if you do know, but I bought this one some years ago now from Tesco's, and it was quite small when I got it, and it's just been so hardy and refuses to die, which is great. It seems to be happy no matter what, so I have repotted it a couple of times because it's got quite big now. But it just seems to be really, really easy to take care of, and it just does its thing. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And then we have this Aloe Vera plant here. I'll just pull it out. And this one was a cutting that my mother-in-law gave me, I think over a year ago. And as you can see, it has loads and loads of pups. Now, this was the biggest plant was the cutting, and that one has now got quite big and is having babies of her own, which is great. So yeah, this spring I'll probably have to repot this one because it's getting quite full with all the pups. But yeah, Aloe Vera, another classic really. Easy to take care of. Don't overwater it. While draining soil, it's happy. Yeah. Okay, and moving on to, I'll have to zoom out a bit for this one, Monstera Deliciosa, another classic, and this one is less than a year old actually. It was very, very small when I bought it, and it did grow quite a few leaves this summer, and it's now stopped for the time being, but it's still a baby. And I'm thinking I might buy another couple of plants this spring, summer, and plant them in with it and get it on a pole. but at the moment it's just doing its thing. But yeah, it's definitely one of the fastest growers during summer, so I'm looking forward to that. And then next to that we have the Crocodile Fur, and this one is so cool. You can see that the leaves resemble crocodile scales, and I know that some ferns have a bad reputation for being difficult, but this one is not at all difficult. I mean, it does like to be watered, but it doesn't die like some ferns do if you leave it a little bit longer. I've found it really easy, personally. Yeah, I really like these leaves. And then down here we have the Philodendron Birkin. And I know a lot of people get annoyed at these because the variegation is not stable, but I don't mind. I'm quite happy for it to do what it wants to do, and you know, I'll just love it anyway. But this was another wishlist plant that I got this summer just gone, and I really like it. I am a big fan of philodendrons, I have to say. Still quite small at the moment. I believe they can get quite large. And then here we have a baby bird of paradise, and as you probably know, these can get really, really big. I did actually see a huge one that went up to the ceiling almost in the garden centre, but of course they are too big to get in the car and too expensive. So I bought this baby one, and it's grown a little bit, but I bought it quite near to the end of summer, so it hasn't had a chance to really properly get bigger yet. Hopefully this year though we'll be able to see some more growth on this one. I would love a massive bird of paradise, I really would. Fingers crossed it will grow for me. Yeah, I'd love a really big one. Okay, and over here we have the dragon tree. And yeah, another one that's really, really easy to take care of. This is actually 3 plants that I have in there. I planted them all in together because I like to have big full plants rather than lots of little ones. And yeah, another really easy care one, this one. As long as you don't overwater it, it's happy. I usually have this one in the living room, but at the moment, because it's winter, it's nearer to the window because it doesn't get any light back over there. And I don't want it to die. Okay, and next we have the Monstera silta pecana. And I didn't actually know what this one was, but so, I think someone on Instagram or TikTok, one or the other, let me know that that's what it's called. And this one I actually found in Aldi, which is a supermarket here in the UK, and I just really loved it, so I bought it, not knowing what it was really, but it is actually still growing. You can see it's got new leaves coming up there. It's one of the few plants I have right now that's still growing, and it's growing this whole vine here in the time that I've got it. And it's still growing new shoots. Yeah, you can see there's a new one there, little shiny green one, very cute. Yeah, at the moment I'm going to let it just trail. I know if you get it on a pole you can make it quite big, but at the moment I'm happy for it to just stay this way. And that's probably the biggest leaf it's got so far. And then up here I'll just show you another Pothos marble queen cutting. And Yeah, this one again is growing well. They do propagate so well. This one's got a bit more variegation on it than the other one, which is nice, especially that leaf there. Yeah, I've got that in a hanging planter. And over here I have just a little Aloe Vera baby that I divided from the mother, which is growing well again. Another really easy to propagate plant. And then scooting over here we have the Fishbone Cactus. And this one is still fairly young, so you can see it's not quite cascading from the pot yet, but it does have quite a lot of new shoots coming in, and it seems to be happy enough. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this one get bigger and coming out of the pot a bit more. I shall have to be patient with it, but it does seem to be very happy right now, which is great. And then moving up here we have the Calathea Nanuk, and this one is, I just think this one is so beautiful. I love the purple, I love the way it grows. Another really easy to propagate one. You can probably see there's one there, and you can see there's like a bit where I cut, and that was from a propagation. And then you can see this is the new shoot that's grown out from there, and yeah, it does grow so nicely. I did propagate several of these and gave them away. I should probably do the same again this spring. But yeah, I just love the colour of it, and it just makes me happy. Makes me very happy. And it does seem to be fairly easy to care for. I haven't really had any issues with it. And then moving up here we have a corn plant. On the shelf up here. And yeah, another easy to care for one. I do like easy to care for plants. This one is really easy. And it can survive in low light too. At the moment I have it a bit nearer to my window because it's winter, but during the summer I have it a little bit more into the room, in the living room area. And then here we just have a small cactus cutting from last year, or this year just gone, this spring. And yeah, it's still very tiny, but it has got some new pads coming out, so hopefully that will continue to grow this coming spring. And over here we have an alocasia. Again, I'm not quite sure what kind of alocasia this is. Let me know in the comments if you do know. It just said alocasia mix or something on the label, so I'm not entirely sure, but I've always wanted one of these, so I thought, why not, let's get one. And so far it seems okay. Hopefully it will survive. Yeah, very unusual looking. Up here on the shelf we have the Crocodile tarantula, which is a succulent. It is getting a bit leggy at the moment and heavy. I will probably propagate that come spring. Get it looking a bit more bushy. And then up there next to it you can see there's another snake plant, because I just love snake plants. Okay, so that's the end of the tour, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.